right, now mathematicians, welcome back to another video. We are still in the mathematics gymnastics section, but now we are on activity 2.2, applying the distributive property. So in this one, I am going to teach you how to use models to write the distributive property. So recall that the distributive property states that if A, B, and C are any real numbers, that just means there are numbers, like all numbers ain't real numbers, but y'all won't get to that until like calculus, then A times B plus C equals AB plus AC. So they're just saying that they took A, multiplied it by B, and got AB. Then they took the A and multiplied it times the C and added AC. So this property holds if addition is replaced with subtraction. It's the same thing. A times B, then we subtract, and then A times C. Dominique remembers that the distributive property can be modeled with a rectangle. She illustrates this with a numerical example. So she's calculating 230 times 7, which is the same as determining the area of the rectangle by multiplying the length times the width. And we've done that before, or base. We call it base times height, but she's talking about some length and some width. She took it way back to 5th grade. But anyway, I can also decompose the rectangle into two similar rectangles and calculate the area of each. I can then add the two areas to get the total. So let's see what she did. So she took 7 and she broke down this 230. So she just said, well, I got 200. She basically picked two numbers that were easy. I see 200 and then I see 30. And she said I can multiply 7 times 200 and get 1400, because 7 times 2 is 14. Use your multiplication chart if you need it, okay? And then 7 times 3 is 21, but 7 times 30, we got to add the 0 on there. So basically, I can add these two areas together and get the same thing as if I just multiplied 230 times 70, because that's basically what she did. So I want to rewrite her problem in terms of the distributive property. So 7 was the coefficient, and we ended up adding these two numbers together. So, but what did we add? We added 230 together because it was 230. And what we did was multiply 7 times each one of those numbers to get the area. And then we added, and you can do that, and then you can add it together. And so 7 times 200 was 1400, plus 7 times 30, which is 2100. And then when we add those numbers together, we get 1610. It's the same difference. This is just a different way to break down numbers, because on our 7th grade star, most of us do not get a calculator. And our number sense is what's going to kill us on this test. And we're not going to let it kill us, because we're going to learn every kind of way to learn how to break down numbers to make it easier for us. Ooh, look at the next one. So now we're going to draw some models for each expression, and then we're going to rewrite the expression with no parentheses. So we're not solving anything right now. We're just drawing a model. And if we remember in the last problem, what shape was the model? Hopefully you said rectangle. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to rewrite this as a rectangle. Boom. Remember, the coefficient goes on the outside, and then the two numbers that we breaking down this our area goes on the top and the bottom. I mean the two top. So our coefficient in this problem is 6, positive 6. And then our two numbers that we are adding together is x and 9. So now we can break this down. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 9 is 54. So now we can rewrite our distributive property as 6x plus 54. Boom. Hippity hoppity. Distributive property. 6 times x, 6x. 6 times 9, 54. And that is our answer. I don't want you to really box it in, because then it'll be kind of confusing with the other box. So just leave it like that. All right, I'm going to do this subtraction problem. B, draw your box. Works the same. Ooh. Terrible box. Use a ruler if you need to, honey, because obviously Miss Hannah needs to use a whole box, whole ruler. So I have 7, that's my coefficient. Then I have 2b, and I have minus 5. And I know that's a subtraction, but you got to treat it like it's an integer in this problem, okay? Because we can't forget about it, because then it changes the number. 7 times 2b, 7 times 2 is 14, keep the b. 7 times 5 is 35. A positive times a negative is a negative. So now we can write our problem. 14b minus 35. That's our answer. So I want you to try C on your own. Draw your box. You'll be okay. All right. But D, I know you're going to have a hard time with that one. D. In fact, I'm gonna do C because I'm gonna leave you to do number 3 by yourself, rewriting each one and using the box method or whatever method you want. So let me go ahead and do C with you so that you will have all types of examples to be able to solve A through F on your own. So my coefficient is -2, works the same way. My 2 numbers that I'm adding together, because this is what I'm doing, is 4a and 1. So now I'm going to multiply them. -2 times 4, -8a, -2 times 1 is -2. So now I'm going to rewrite this. -8a minus 2. All right, D looks scary, but don't let it scare you, honey. It's the same thing. So when we write this, we're going to take what's on top. X is on top. Positive 15 is on the other side. Now our coefficient is what's on bottom, but because it's on the bottom of the fraction, you have to keep it on the bottom of the fraction. So therefore it turns into a fraction because it is a fraction. The 5 is in the denominator, so you got to keep it in the denominator. Now you multiply the 5 times everything. X times 1/5 is just 1/5 x. It's that simple. 1/5 times 15. So 1/5 times 15. Remember, turning the whole number into a fraction, you need to put a 1 underneath, multiply across. We get 15 over 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So that is your new equation. 1/5 x plus 3. I'm not going to forget. I'm not boxing it. Forgot. So that's your equation. So use A, B, C, and D to do A through F. You got it. I believe in you. So now let's talk about simplifying expressions. When simplifying expressions, you just want to combine everything that you can combine. Put them together. That's what you're trying to do. You want to put numbers together. You want to put variables together. So let's just start with this first. I'm going to underline what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with the distributive property. I always start with that. So my distributive property tells me -6 times 3. Now remember, you can use the box if you want to. To the side, I'm going to use my box so you can see. -6, 3, and -4y. Okay, so -6 times +3 is -18. -6 times -4 is +24, and then don't forget the y. So that would be simplifying the purple. -18 plus 24y. But now I have to bring down my 22 because I still have that. Do I have any more variables to combine? No, I do not. This is the only variable I have. The only variable I have. So I'm going to leave that alone. But I do have 2 numbers. Numbers don't have a variable next to it. I have -18 and +22. So I want to put those together. And when I have 2 different signs, I have to subtract them. So 22 minus 18 is 4. And then I have to keep the sign of the bigger number. 22 is bigger, so I'm going to leave 4 positive since 22 is positive. And then I'm just going to bring down that 24. Why? Because I don't have any more y's. So now I have just simplified this expression. So this is different. So all we're doing is just combining like terms, combining things that look the same. It's like if I have A's and A's, I'm gonna put A's together. If I got numbers and numbers together, I'm gonna put them together. That's how it works. So let me try. I'm gonna do B for you because I know y'all was like, what? What is that? I want to do the distributive property first because I can't do anything with this until I multiply. Multiply rules come first in PEMDAS, and distributive property is multiplication. I'm going to draw my line so I won't get my stuff mixed up. So I'm going to do negative. I'm going to do it without the box, but if you need the box, do the box, okay? Negative 4 times negative 3. A negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 3 is 12. And then I have an x. A negative times a negative is a positive. Negative 4 times negative 8 is 32. And now I'm going to rewrite my negative 34. So now I'm done with my variables. I have no more variables. So this is done. But now I got these two numbers I got to put together. Positive 32 and negative 34. I got to put them together. Or 32 minus 34. However you want to read it. So now I'm going to put these together. They're opposite signs, which means I'm going to subtract them. 34 minus 32 is 2. Use the sign of the bigger number. The negative is bigger. So therefore, my answer is 12x minus 2. That's a lot, but I believe in you. Don't forget to do A and L, A through L. I mean A, B, C, D, E, F. I want you to try these if you can. I understand they're a little difficult. Try to use the box. If you need help with C or E, go back to D and whatever you did for E and F. It's not as hard as it looks. Don't let the numbers fool you. Just do the process. And then for these, just make sure you find common denominators before you do them, or you can change them to decimals. I'm cool with that. Whatever is easier for you. But please do attempt C, D, and E. And we'll go over it and see what you got. Then this is our whole review. We want to evaluate, and of course they're using some little bit hard numbers. We're going to substitute the x value in here and then evaluate the expression. Same thing here, substitute the x in, and then we're going to evaluate the expression. And then I want you to talk about when you finish, which form, simplified or not simple form, did you prefer to evaluate? So when it was simplified, like for example here, these were simplified. We just needed to evaluate them. These were not simplified. We had to simplify them first and combine like terms. So which one did you like to do? And then these were already simplified. You just needed to solve them by substituting. So which one did you like doing the most? Write about it here and talk about why. Why did you like doing it? Remember, we're writing. Because if we can't write and we can't read, we can't do math. So let's write about it and we'll talk about it. All right, number 6. All right. You gonna be the teacher, honey. This is what I have to do all the good time, okay? So a student submitted the following quiz. Here's Alicia Smith's quiz. She took this quiz. Grade the paper by marking each item with a check because it's correct or an X if it's incorrect. So figure out, did she solve this correct? This was her problem? This was her answer. So this is her answer on the other side of the equal sign. So you want to see, did she get it right, honey? Make sure you got your highlighter, your color pencil, whatever you need to grade this paper. You gonna check it or you gonna exit, whatever it is. I can't wait to see what y'all come up with. I'm gonna do the first one first. Hippity hoppity. I could do the box too if I want. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 5 is 10. Or you can do the box to check her stuff. 2x, 5. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 5 is 10. That's what she got. So that means that you should check her first problem. So you got it, honey. We're going to figure out what grade she got. She got 8 problems. So at the top of the paper, you're going to put out of 8, how many she get right. Welcome to my life as a teacher. You get to be the teacher today. I cannot wait to see what y'all come up with. All right. Bye. See you in the next video.